Have you ever wondered how every single part of your body gets the stuff it needs to keep going? Think about it. Your big toe needs energy, your brain needs fuel, and every little cell needs oxygen. How does it all get there? The answer is truly amazing. It's the circulatory system. This system is like a massive, super complex delivery network running all throughout an animal's body. Its main job is to move important things around, like oxygen from the air we breathe and nutrients from the food we eat. It's a non-stop delivery service that keeps everything running smoothly, day and night. Think of it like a superhighway system inside a body. Cars and trucks, which are like the blood cells, are constantly on the move, carrying precious cargo. They pick up supplies from a central warehouse, like the lungs or the digestive system, and then they zip off to deliver them to all the different neighborhoods, which are the body's tissues and organs. But it's a two-way street. After dropping off the good stuff, these delivery trucks also have to pick up the trash. This trash includes waste products like carbon dioxide that the cells don't need anymore. The circulatory system carries this waste away to be disposed of. The heart is the engine that powers this entire incredible highway. It's a powerful muscle that pumps and pumps and pumps, pushing the delivery fluid, which we call blood, or a similar fluid called hemolymph, all through the body's transportation network. Without the heart's constant push, traffic would come to a complete standstill and the cells wouldn't get their vital deliveries. This would be a very big problem, very quickly. So, the heart is the tireless pump at the center of this whole operation, making sure the flow of life-giving substances never ever stops. It's a remarkable piece of natural engineering. So, in short, a circulatory system is an animal's internal transport network. It's responsible for delivering oxygen and nutrients, removing waste products, and helping to keep the entire body functioning as one cohesive unit. It's one of the most fundamental systems for life as we know it, ensuring that every part, from the biggest organ to the tiniest cell, gets exactly what it needs to survive and thrive. Whether the roads are wide-open freeways or tiny country lanes, the goal is always the same: keep things moving. And that's where things get really interesting, because not all circulatory systems are built the same way. Now, while the goal of delivering goodies is the same, nature has come up with two main designs for these circulatory highways. The two types are called open and closed circulatory systems. Imagine a city with a very advanced plumbing system. In one part of the city, the water is always contained inside pipes of different sizes. It flows from a pumping station through big main pipes into smaller pipes that go to every house, and then back to the station in another set of pipes. The water never just spills out into the streets. This is exactly like a closed circulatory system, which is what we humans have. In a closed system, the blood is always contained within vessels. These vessels are arteries, veins, and tiny little capillaries. The heart pumps the blood under high pressure into these vessels, which branch out to reach every nook and cranny of the body. The blood delivers oxygen and nutrients by passing them through the super thin walls of the capillaries, but the blood itself stays inside the pipes. This is a very efficient system because the high pressure means blood can travel long distances very quickly, which is great for large active animals. Think of vertebrates like mammals, birds, fish, and reptiles. We all use this closed-loop design. On the other hand, imagine another part of the city where the plumbing is a bit different. A big pump shoots water out, and it just sloshes around. The water fills up the city square, bathing everything in it before it slowly drains back towards the pump to be shot out again. This is the basic idea behind an open circulatory system. In this design, the blood, which is often called hemolymph, is not always contained in vessels. The heart pumps it into a main body cavity called a hemocoel. The fluid directly bathes the organs and tissues. It's a much more relaxed, low-pressure way of doing things. So, the key difference is containment. Closed systems are high pressure and keep the blood contained in vessels at all times, like a network of pipes. Open systems are low pressure and allow the blood, or hemolymph, to flow freely within a body cavity, directly soaking the organs. It's like the difference between watering your garden with a sprinkler hose that has tiny holes versus just dumping a bucket of water over all your plants. Both methods get the plants wet, but they do it in very different ways. This fundamental design difference is why these systems are suited for very different kinds of animals and lifestyles. Let's dive deeper into that bucket of water idea, the open circulatory system. How does it really work? Animals with this system, like insects, spiders, and crustaceans like crabs and lobsters, have a heart, but it's often a long tube-shaped structure. This heart pumps the special circulatory fluid, the hemolymph, not into a complex web of tiny vessels, but out through a few large vessels that open up into the main body cavity, the hemocoel. Think of it as the heart pumping fluid into a big, open room where all the organs are located. Once the hemolymph is pumped into the hemocoel, it flows slowly and freely around the internal organs. It's a bit like a gentle tide washing over everything. As this fluid sloshes around, it directly delivers nutrients, like sugars and fats, to the cells of the organs. It also picks up waste products from those same cells. There's a direct exchange happening right there in the body cavity. The hemolymph doesn't have to seep through the walls of tiny capillaries because it's already surrounding everything. It's a full-body bath for the organs. This low-pressure, slow-moving flow is a defining feature of the open system. So, how does the hemolymph get back to the heart to be pumped again? It doesn't have a dedicated network of veins to return it. Instead, as the animal moves its body, the squeezing and relaxing of its muscles helps push the fluid around. Eventually, the hemolymph makes its way back toward the heart. The heart has tiny holes in it called ostia. These ostia act like one-way valves. When the heart relaxes, it expands, and the low pressure inside sucks the hemolymph in through the ostia. Then, when the heart contracts to pump, the ostia close up so the fluid is pushed out into the body again. One very important thing to note, especially for insects, is that their hemolymph generally doesn't carry oxygen. That's a huge difference from our blood. Insects have a separate system of air tubes called tracheae that deliver oxygen directly to their cells. So their open circulatory system is mainly for transporting nutrients and hormones and for removing waste. This is a key reason why the slow, low-pressure system works for them. They don't need a super-fast circulatory system for oxygen delivery because they have another, more direct method. It's a brilliant separation of duties. So, you might be thinking, a low-pressure system that just sloshes fluid around? That doesn't sound very good. But for many of the most successful animals on Earth, it's the perfect solution. The open circulatory system is incredibly common in the world of invertebrates. Think of arthropods, which includes all insects, spiders, scorpions, crabs, shrimp, and lobsters. It's also found in most mollusks like clams, oysters, and snails. These creatures are everywhere, which tells us their internal plumbing works just fine for their way of life. It's all about matching the system to the animal's needs. The main advantage of an open system is that it takes less energy to build and operate, creating a massive, complex network of tiny capillaries that reach every single cell, and maintaining high blood pressure takes a lot of metabolic energy. For a small animal with a slower metabolism, an open system is much more efficient. It gets the job done without a huge energy cost. Since the hemolymph moves slowly and under low pressure, these animals don't need a super powerful, complex heart. Their simpler, tube-like heart is all that's required to keep things flowing, saving precious energy for other activities like finding food or reproducing. This system works best for smaller animals. Because the fluid flow is slow, it would take a very long time for nutrients to get from one end of a large animal to the other. But in a tiny insect or a small clam, The distances are so short that the slow, sloshing flow is perfectly adequate. Furthermore, many of these animals are not as hyperactive as, say, a cheetah. Their lower metabolic demands mean they don't need the rapid-fire delivery of oxygen and nutrients that a closed system provides. Their lifestyle is perfectly in sync with their circulatory system's capabilities. It's a beautiful example of evolutionary efficiency. In the end, the open circulatory system is a testament to nature's ingenuity. It's a low-cost, low-pressure design where hemolymph is pumped by a simple heart into a body cavity, directly bathing the organs to exchange nutrients and waste. It works beautifully for smaller, less metabolically demanding animals, like insects and crustaceans, in part because they often have a separate system for gas exchange. It may not be the high-speed expressway of a closed system, but for its users, it's the perfect energy-saving country road that gets them exactly where they need to go. And that is pretty cool.